People, deluded, I'm back again. Now, you don't know me, I like young players, man. And people think when I make these young player vids that I'm calling for everyone to talk about Arsenal, come to Arsenal, sorry, or talking about them in regards to Arsenal. Just like young players, but fools will be fools. Now, Barco, I cannot say his name, but Argentinian under 20 international. Those of you that watch the MLS know about him. Those of you that follow me on Twitter know about me because I know about him because I tweeted his name and we've been linked with him. Now, sorry to burst anyone's bubble, and I'm not no scout, no agent. I'm just a humble man in my room making an opinion. I haven't watched it religiously. I don't think he's ready. I don't, not for a top six club. I think maybe like our Moreno, if he moved to a Prem team, it could work. I think even that's a bit sceptical at this moment. We can look at him in 12 months, 6 months, or this is what people fail to understand. Just because someone isn't ready now doesn't mean they'll never be ready. But I don't think he's of the standard to really impact us. He's a bad boy player, very good 1v1, likes to bring people on, can operate all over the place, man. Against, who was it, Portugal or whoever? I can't remember the nation. He was all over the place, operating off behind the striker, floating into pockets out wide. He's not afraid to shoot. He looks to provoke people. He's capable of doing highly skilled technical phases and all of these sort of things as well, man. I really like how he plays. He tries to be a maverick essentially, and stuff like that. He's very positive. He can improve. He tries to mash in work defensively, but his positioning, end product could be fine tuned and things. And again, I'm not watching him religiously, but just by taking a look into his history, he's really not prolific because for Argentina, I think, or who is this? I messed up the stats, people. For Independe, sorry, he's got in 51 appearances, 8 goals, 6 assists. For Atlanta, again, he's only 20 years of age, people, so let's be easy. But again, let him have time. He's scored 9 goals and got 6 assists. So he's not really the most prolific of people, to be fair. Let me go on Transfermarkt or whatever the name is as well to kind of make the opinion, but he's not really the most experienced. I think he went for 12 or 15 or something old million pounds to Atlanta in America now, so he kind of went for big money. And his first season, people, what's it mean about it? What's going on with the Wi-Fi? I don't know what's happening with the Wi-Fi, people, with my internet, but I think he found it tough adjusting, whether that was into a new league or whatever he was doing. People, here we go. Yeah, obviously he's moving from his homeland in Argentina to a new country in America, so he needed time to adapt. But the guy's been doing dirt in the thingy, man. I'm so sure he scored in the opening game of the under-20s championship. He is a good player. Like I said, man, capable of playing on either flanks. He seemed to relish operating in a free role when I saw him. And he looks decent. He's contracted in until 2022 with Atlanta. He was signed for 12 million, like I said, so he relative big money. This season, in 12 appearances in all comps, he's got 4 goals and 3 assists, playing 872 minutes. But if we dive a bit deeper in, or dive deeper into it, people, just a tiny bit for you guys. For Atlanta, he's got 45 appearances, 9 goals and 6 assists. For Independe, he's got 51 appearances, 8 goals, 6 assists. In the first division in Argentina, the top league, 35 appearances, 5 goals, 3 assists. In the MLS, 34, 8 goals and 3 assists. So he's not the most prolific. He's clearly trying to find his feet and things like that. That's what he did this season. Let's take a look at what he possibly did last season. So last season, people, 17-18 season, he played in the I cannot say that name, Premier Division in Argentina, but he made 41 appearances, all comps, people, 6 goals, 5 assists. So he clearly found it tough, and he is going to still find it tough again. On one hand, I do think there is a golfing class clearly between the MLS and the Premier League, but I always feel that when you do the scouting courses and things, you always you learn about biases, certain biases that you set up in your head, and I always think might be one of mine. So these players can always step up. I think he is a good player. He is one to keep an eye on and things like that, but I don't think he's ready to positively impact our club. And that brings me on to my second player, people, and a player I really like. He's very raw, but I really like him. Moreno. Now, I've never seen this guy until I saw him play in the under-20s. And again, more monitoring needs to be done. But I like what I see from him. tigerish midfielder, puts himself around, decent passer, short and long range, can be refined. Not the greatest, but it's to a good standard, can play under pressure. What I like about him, he's got a shot on him and he's not afraid to shoot, so he could develop into someone who can get goals in midfield. 20 years of age as well. He's got even less experience than Barco. He's only made 4 appearances or so for Noel's old boys. They've got a decent academy. I don't know if Arsenal can get around work permits and things like that, but in terms of developing young players that come through Hale End and players from a foreign that can be sold for profits or make it here, he's someone I would look at. Again, he's from Argentina, so he could get a work permit, but he hasn't been fully capped at full level for the National League proper level, so it might be difficult. This is where it comes into possibly setting up certain partnerships, allowing players to be placed somewhere centrally that we have not control but control of, where we can monitor their development and they can play under a certain philosophy before they can get a work permit or granted to come to Arsenal. And if he doesn't develop, possibly be sold on. But I really like what I see from him. He had a good engine and stuff like that. I think eventually he could do decent things for Arsenal. So that's 2 players I feel realistically Arsenal could look at. Barco's not going to happen. One player that is not going to happen in this club, and I think he'll have a better next season, and I don't want to say he'll follow João Felix, but maybe as the next one up, is Jota. Plays for Benfica, forgive me if I'm wrong. Lovely player. I've watched him for under-19s for Portugal. You lot all know about him. I think he's made a handful of appearances at first team. Lovely player. I think he's probably better with a free roll in behind the striker. He can take... he's quick, but it's not them blistering. It's not like a Dembele dribbling. It's more... I'd say I'd describe it as it's more of a technical-based dribble to try and get past you. It's more of a quick burst over 5 yards. Lovely technical ability, people. The nutmegs, the little flicks, the earning smart corners. He can play in tight positions. I really like him, man. Can get a bit stronger, not because he needs to be robust and strong. Just at times, even in the under-20s, he's been muscled out a bit. Possibly that's an improvement, but I think he's a wonderful player. Don't know for potential and all of these things, but I think in terms of the creative role, that's someone Arsenal should be looking at. If I'm Benfica, you're probably asking for 40 million now. So imagine when he proper bangs, it's gonna be a myth. But he's someone I would like the look of, man. And we can't get him. He's got a lot of party tricks. We cannot sign him. But he's someone that it's never. I don't know, people. It's just the dream is free, I guess. So why can't a man dream if not that? On that note, people. Deluded. I'm out. Thank you for watching and rocking as usual. Bang.